Friends, sociologists um, of gender and health claim that there are differences between men and women with respect to status of health and illness, life expectancy, quality of life, risk factors, and they are not due to biological reasons, but they are due to the fact that in society men and women play different roles, and it is the difference in roles that men and women play that differences in reported morbidity and ultimately in quality and expectancy of life arise. Kevin White in chapter 8 is trying to make this connection between social roles and reported morbidity. Here, morbidity includes both physical and mental. As a matter of fact, sociologists of health, uh, following angels who use biopsychosocial model of health, do not make a distinction between physical and mental. Angels gave the example of diabetes, schizophrenia, and grief to show that ultimately all the health conditions are behavioral. Now, then, what is so special about social roles, because of which um, men and women manifest differences in status of health and illness? According to Kevin White, there are several reasons. One, that differences in social roles expose them to different opportunities and risks. Men who work outside, who work in agriculture, mining, manufacturing sector, service sector, IT sector, transport and communication, insurance, they have certain opportunities, an enabling atmosphere in some way, and also certain risks. Similarly, women who work as homemakers, uh, who take responsibilities of care, child care, family care, elderly care, they are exposed to different sets of enabling conditions and different threats and risks, different health hazards, emotional as well as physical. Uh, for example, more men will die uh, due to accidents, due to industrial accidents, due to road accidents, because they work outside. More women will die due to more women, particularly in those traditional economies where women work in their kitchen with conventional source of energy, fuel wood, cow dung cake, etc. They will suffer more from diseases caused by smoke or respiratory system, breathing problem, asthma. The women will have a greater risk of developing those diseases. Also, in modern society where women are also expected to uh, take up some role outside if they are educated. So, but we have a patriarchal system and they are bound to a nuclear family. They move with their husband at a new place of destination where husband is working. They may find a job, they may not find a job. If they find a job, they suffer from the role conflict between workplace and family or home. If they do not find a job and they are equally qualified or they are more qualified, they suffer from stress and the incidence of mental disorder will be high. They will suffer from hysteria, they will suffer from depression, from agoraphobia or fear of crowd or open space. They will suffer from anxieties and they will suffer from all kinds of behavioral and emotional disorders. In addition, Kevin White says that medicalization of health is another factor. There are some natural conditions of women in industrial, scientifically advanced, and medicalized society. They they are medicalized, like menarche, pregnancy, and menopause. In traditional society or in pre-scientific, pre-industrial society, these conditions were natural. But now that these conditions are medicalized, so obviously more women will report morbidity or presence at health facilities, health centers as compared to men. Men do not have such conditions. Men have other conditions, but uh, men do not have these conditions of menses, menarche, men. And also remember that whenever any drug is given, or whenever any treatment is given for these things, for childbirth, maybe surgical operation, for menopause, maybe hormonal replacement therapy, everything which is given in the form of a drug can have side effects, contraindications, adverse consequences, short term, long term, and therefore they will adversely affect women. In addition, there are activity restrictions that women cannot take up all kinds of activities. They do not even have freedom to move alone. They cannot go to market. They cannot go to their uh, relatives. They cannot go to a health facility on their own. They need a male company. Then there is feminization of poverty, which says that among the poor people, or in the category of the poor, there are more women than men, and certain special conditions such as divorce, separation, desertion, widowhood may make women poor. And this is happening not only in less developed countries but in developed countries also, in USA, in UK. Divorce often leads to poverty among women. It does not lead to poverty among men. So these factors, medicalization of special conditions of women, activity restrictions placed on women, social roles and social conflicts, dangers of cotton industry, which a home is, and feminization of poverty. These are the factors which, according to Kevin White, are responsible for differences in uh, quality of life and reported morbidity between men and women. You know, in Western society, certain new things like screening for cancer. Women, as soon as they reach the age of 30 or so, they are under tremendous anxiety to go for tests whether they have developed breast cancer or they are likely to develop cancer. This uh, this too much emphasis on tests, physical examinations in anticipation. Similar things are happening to men also. There are very specific medical tests to diagnose whether somebody is likely to develop diabetes. But women have some special problems: cervix cancer, breast cancer, and tests which can help them in identifying whether they have developed the problem or they are likely to develop problem. That can also be another cause of uh, increase or higher reported morbidity, physical and mental. Now, friends, then what do we do about it? Kevin White says that the answer is feminism. But feminism is not of one type. Depending on social structure, depending on the nature of society, evolution of society, impact of globalization, there are different types of feminism. There is cultural feminism, according to which women and men must maintain their cultural expectations, role, and status, and uh, that means um, men must be breadwinners and women must confine to homemaking. But in rewards, um, in status, in prestige, in power, there should not be any inequality. Something which is not likely to happen. Breadwinners will always have more respect and more power and more prestige. Another feminism is liberal feminism. Liberal feminists say that there must be complete equality between men and women in all walks of life, in education, in jobs, in political participation, in cultural participation, in religious matters. Why can't women be priests? Why can't women be clerics? Why can't women be more specialized doctors? Why can't women be cancer experts? Or why can't women be heart surgeons? In all walks of life, men and women should have equal participation. Women may continue to do their homemaking work, but there must be equal part. Again, there are tensions and role conflicts between working life and home can create several emotional disorders and mental disorders. Marxism, Marxist feminism says that the root cause of women's subordination is the emergence of private property. According to Marxists, actually, all kinds of inequalities, regional, caste, racial, gender, uh, emanate from the capitalist mode of production. And unless the capitalist mode of production is changed and means of production are collectivized, there is no solution to any kind of inequality. This is also an utopia. Radical feminists say that in all kinds of societies, uh, there is male domination in traditional, in modern, in capitalist, in communist, in religious, or in secular, in Islamic states, uh, in states governed by Christian ethics, in secular states, in mixed societies, in plural society, everywhere there is patriarchy. So patriarchy can be fought only by reimagining the social structure, which will require new beliefs, new values, new aims of life, and attacking the all values of patriarchal society. Women must decide how should lives of women and men be lived. Women must decide questions regarding marriage, reproduction, work, and everything. So this is radical feminism. In India, we see more of liberal feminism. At some places, like Islamic feminism is part of cultural feminism. The old religious and cultural values prevail, and still women want freedom, and they think that maintaining religious and cultural standards also freedom can be possible. So, thank you. This is what the eighth chapter of Kevin White uh, on gender and health.